The Lowdown on FX premieres Tuesday, September 23rd at 9 Eastern on FX and streaming the next day on Hulu. And for those who are listening, let me describe. There are two beautiful bottles of wine on my desk right here. Pursued by Bear, it's your red wine. Let's jump into this right away.
Yes.
Because I'd love to talk about your wine here.
Thank you. I understand you're a red wine drinker.
I am a red wine guy. Big time. And I've seen these labels, Pursued by Bear. It's a very distinct label. I've seen it everywhere. I had no idea this was your wine.
This has been mine since 2005, and this is the flagship. So we're coming up on our 20th anniversary here right
congratulations.
now, and I can't believe I'm still doing this, but I love it. It's a playful label, but the wine inside is quite serious, and our ratings are quite high.
What is the genesis of the label?
Well, it's a Shakespeare stage direction. So I decided to be really obscure with all my references. Right. Don't make it easy to sell wine. And so I made things more difficult for myself.
Right.
In The Winter's Tale, one of Shakespeare's plays, being an actor, big Shakespeare, I grew up doing Shakespeare, I love Shakespeare. In The Winter's Tale, he wrote a stage direction, exit pursued by a bear. And in fact, the bear comes on stage and chases the actor off stage.
Yes.
And the actor doesn't fare very well, which we learn about in the next scene when a group comes on and says, that poor fellow. Yes, what was left of him. So the bear was hungry. Anyway, so I just borrowed. I said, you know what? Oops, sorry. I just said, this is no one's going to have this trademark, and indeed it was true. Certainly not for wine. And I said I like it because it points to what I do as a day job. It's kind of esoteric, obscure, unusual, as you would expect me making wine. That's the reason I make wine. And I said I'm going to go with it. And so we put the little 3 dots in and Pursued by Bear, and it was born.
And born and bottled, and I believe it's made fully in Walla Walla, Washington.
This is all,
right?
Walla Walla, Eastern Washington, where I grew up. I'm from Yakima originally.
And you're a UW grad,
I'm
right?
a UW grad.
Okay, look at
yes, we can talk about that
Fantastic,
too. At the game the other night.
Yes, but this
so
is
anyway,
fully...
so I went to school there, and I wanted this was the impetus for this was as a way to go home and see my dad more frequently. So my dad was in Yakima. I wasn't getting home very frequently between New York and Los Angeles, and I said, there's something, we got to do something together. I don't know if you had that relationship with your dad, but it's about doing things together.
Sure.
So I always say when we have conversations, we're facing forward. We're either walking down the fairway, you know what I mean, or we're driving in the car.
Nice.
It's one of those. You're not sitting across from each other, looking at each other, having tea and discussing things.
Sure.
At least with my dad. So I involved him along the journey, and he came willingly. I started in 2005, and so for the last 6 years of his life, we were able to share this.
Oh, how great!
He was my toughest critic in terms of this.
Oh, sure.
A real straight shooter, my dad, and it was a way that I could share something with him. And it was really fulfilling.
Well, I'm glad that you're 20 years in, because the phrase that I heard all the time up in Napa, whenever I get to go up there with Suze, my wife, the long-standing joke is, how you make a small fortune in the wine business.
Yes, you start with a large fortune.
That's the idea. That's the joke.
Which makes it, I don't even have a large fortune.
So that's the vintner, joke.
Yeah, and there's a lot of truth to that. But especially now, it's even more difficult. People are drinking less.
Right.
They're enjoying other things. I consider alcohol, wine in particular, a food.
Me too.
It's part of the food group, and it's something that when you're either with a group and having a social situation or enjoying a good meal, it just really adds to it. So that's my approach. I really think there's a place for it.
Yes, so. And I love it. I can't wait to try.
I hope you enjoy it.
I will. I'm sure I will, and I'm sure I'll be reaching out for more. Pursued by Bear,
Fingers
wherever
crossed.
you get your vino.
Yeah.
And again, the Lowdown premieres Tuesday, September 23rd on FX at 9 Eastern Time, streaming the next day on Hulu. I've got Kyle MacLachlan here in studio. All right, so put up the picture. You and Joel McHale, Mr. Washington football as well.
Husky.
If you want to include somebody who dressed but never played. And so there...
It's allowed. He was on the team.
That's okay.
He practiced.
So there you were holding up a photograph of him back in the day in his neck roll.
Yeah.
And then autographed, and then he's holding up. Is that you as?
That's me as Dale
Agent
Cooper. Yeah,
Dale Cooper from Twin Peaks.
We were on the field. Joel organized this whole thing.
He did.
Yeah, he really. He's so connected. Justin Glenn was a part of the athletic department, and we were sharing the booth with Patrick Ewing, and he knows everybody.
Yes,
honestly,
right.
And so he was able to make this happen. And I was up there with my son because we were touring the U he's 17 and he's looking at colleges.
Okay.
And they had this amazing program where you go for an orientation.
Yes.
Starts at 4, and you end up tailgating At the end of the orientation,
welcome to college.
Yes, I was like, son, this is what it's all about, man.
This is what it's about.
So it was really fun. It was a fun day.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then we watched the
awesome.
game.
So when you were there, was the Don James era? Was that it? Pretty much when you were there,
so
the
I'm
coach?
77 to 82.
77 to 82.
Yeah, but I remember
against Bo in Michigan in those Rose Bowls. Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Early on, both my parents went to the U. So we would listen to Husky football games on our little transistor radio, working in the backyard in Yakima in the fall, and it was the era of Sonny Six Killer. You remember that?
Oh gosh.
Oh, we go back deep. Yeah,
you go back deep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was
all
good.
right.
And I went there from 77 to 82. So yeah.
So it's kind of crazy that I get to say this because I went to Michigan. We both went to Big Ten schools.
Yes.
Yes. Just,
how can that happen?
We're in a Big Ten city in Los Angeles. There's 2 Big Ten teams in this town. I still can't get used to it.
Really crazy. And Michigan, great rivalry. Great rivalry, especially that in the 80s.
Back in the day
80s,
with Bo versus the Don James years, whatever. No doubt about it. You got the better of Michigan, I'm sure, a couple times.
I think it was half and half.
Maybe half and half. Hey, you made it all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Check us out every single day streaming live on Disney Plus and the ESPN app 12 to 3 Eastern.